going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to talk about Toriko chapter 357. Okay, so after last week's tragedy of a chapter that I was probably way too nice to, we get this chapter, and it's actually pretty damn good. We get some explaining on how the gourmet eclipse works, which is definitely good, need-to-know information. Talking about how it helps to, like, cultivate the earth and everything. Talking about how when the Nitro planned all this shit out way millions of years ago and stuff. That's cool. All that stuff was totally fine. I mean, it was kind of like, really, we get, like, because, you know, Gigi's like, and this is where our story begins. And I look at the page, and it's like, oh, page 7. Alright, yeah, this is where the story begins. But whatever, as Gigi loves to fucking hear himself talk. So, he explains the gourmet eclipse thing. That's good overall plot progression. But then we get the stuff with Neo, and it's pretty damn good. I was glad that it wasn't too dialogue heavy, because that's what I'm kind of worried about with some of these Toriko explanations, but it worked pretty well. It was kind of like you kind of see what he's doing in the panels, and you have these small bubbles to kind of explain what it is, but it's nothing too elaborate. It's not over-explaining anything. And Neo is a dark little fucker. He was a small demon that the Nitro used to use to bring out the flavor in the planet and the inhabitants of the planet, but they switched the gourmet eclipse strategy. They left him on a planet alone, and he just did some dark shit. Like, he did some dark fucking shit. Yeah, actually, one of his things actually reminded me of a Pokédex entry. I can't remember what Pokemon it was. I think it was one of the cactus ones from, like, Generation 3, but it was like, he'll just follow you while you're, like, in the desert until you, like, drop from exhaustion or whatever, and then it'll fucking, like, do whatever it does. It was a really dark Pokédex entry. And this kind of reminded me of that, where he'll just, like, stare at this creature from, like, not even 2 feet away. It would try to run, he would just chase it, but not eat it. It would just, like, instill fear in this creature and then eat it. And that's, like, some fucked up dark shit. But it's kind of cool, you know, in a fucked up sort of way. So Neo does that shit. You see him devouring other creatures, and you don't really see him getting bigger. I was kind of hoping we'd see him get bigger, but that'll probably be the next chapter, because we see that this thing is actually a multi-level, not multi-level, he's a multi-planet level, there we go, multi-planet level threat. And that's really, really cool, because I don't think we've had something like that in Toriko. I mean, the 8 kings are obviously extremely powerful. Some of them probably capable of destroying the planet if they really tried, but they aren't exactly like threats that are trying to devour everything. That is what Neo is, and that last page was fucked up. Might be my thumbnail, probably not. That was a fucked up page. But yeah, and I don't know, I still think Neo looks kind of dumb, like the current one, because of the way the whole thing like protrudes out the top, but still a threat, still a big deal, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I mean, the explanation on the gourmet eclipse was good, and finding more about how Neo started. I mean, one of the, what was it, like, fake Froze was like, it started off as one gourmet cell. We didn't go that far back, so I don't know where that's going to go, but for now, we got this explanation, and it looks like it's going to continue in the next one, because they said, oh, the nightmare's only just begun, and he already destroyed multiple planets, or turned multiple planets barren, so if that's only the beginning, I guess we'll see what happens next. But it was dark, it was fucked up, but it was pretty cool. It was, like, cool explanations. I don't know if he had to be, like, scrawny and left behind. I feel like that didn't really, because he doesn't have much character to him, so I feel like that's kind of pointless. But I mean, it's the reason why they left him behind, but you could have left him behind because he's too strong. He could have just been normal and forgotten. Could have been, you know, but whatever, starting him off scrawny. A couple of pages, I wouldn't say wasted, but a couple of pages that didn't have to have that detail, but that's more of a, that's like a really big nitpick. So yeah, this chapter of Toriko, I liked it. It was better than last week's. Fuck, anything's better than last week's, where 2 of the main characters' goals for the entire series are just sidelined. So yeah, I mean, it is literally like if you're watching Dragon Ball or reading Dragon Ball and all the characters die in the Saiyan Saga, and they're like, we gotta go to Planet Namek to bring them all back to life. And then they leave, and then you focus on Goku and his recovery in the hospital for a little bit, and then you cut back to space, and they're already coming home from Namek, and they're like, yeah, Namek was like a lot of grass and a lot of trees, and we met the Namekians, and we had a fight with the Dragon Balls with this Frieza guy, but we were able to, like, it'd be like that. It'd be like this big event, bringing back all these characters and just skipping it. And this is like, oh yeah, me and Sonny, yeah, we met this civilization inside the cave. It's like, oh, well, I guess we'll never see. I've already said my thing about the fucking last chapter, but it was dumb. From a writing perspective, the last chapter was dumb. Even if you want to say, oh, Shonen Jump's rushing him, they're going to cancel Toriko, or they're trying to get him to end it quickly, Mitsutoshi himself still could have prioritized things better. He would have known that his series was being rushed by the editors and shit in advance, and he could have said, alright, you know what? I'm going to cut back the another arc because there's way too much shit going on. Way too much over-explaining, way too much bullshit. Cut this arc back, sprinkle that stuff in with the Coco arc and the Sunny arc and the Zebra arc, and then show those, like what we've seen of, like, Stargent and Toriko on Area 2. That would be serviceable enough. If we had that much, if that many chapters dedicated to, or not even that many chapters, but that much panel time dedicated to Sunny, Zebra, and Coco, I would not complain. But we didn't get anything, so that's why it pisses me off. But yeah, I wouldn't say, pisses me off, quote unquote, but anyways, that's enough about that chapter. This chapter was really good. I give it like a 7.5 to an 8. The Gourmet Eclipse explanation, again, really good, and Neo origin story and all that was really good as well. Very entertaining in a dark, fucked up kind of way, but still, it was good. I wouldn't say there was a ton of overall plot progression, but the pace of the chapter was good and the art was good as usual. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of this chapter of Toriko in the comment section below. You can follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. If you give this video a thumbs up, that would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.